Ladies in red. Ladies in red. Discuss the latest news, just fans giving their views. This channel is red. They see the bar and raise it, plus they rep for the ladies. Trust it's red. See my voices in football. Red. If you want to talk up, it's a red channel for me and you. Subscribe and tune into the Ladies in Red.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Ladies in Red. Sophie's not here tonight, but me and Natalie are here and we're discussing the England game. Natalie, how are you?
I'm good. Thanks, Maisie. How are you?
Not too bad, thank you. Not a brilliant game, but I'm sure we'll go on to that in itself anyway. But England come out with the same formation, come out with the exact same players, but not the same result from Iran.
No. And I think, Iran, they did well towards the end, you know what I mean? They got 2 goals, so it showed that England could be got at, but I just thought they would, attacking-wise, I thought it'd be a bit more. I thought they'd go for it a bit more. I thought, they'd impose themselves on the USA. They'd sort of not overwhelm them, overwork them. But we've seen, they do work hard, America. Even that Wales game, even though they sort of, towards the end, died down and Wales came back into it, I just thought there would be those periods where, England would come into it, and it was just boring. It was one of the worst matches. I mean, there have been a few 0-0s, and there have been a few boring matches, but we know that these players are technical. We know that they're good, and to just see that from that, it was just it wasn't good. And and can see people already there mentioning Foden and stuff, and just the subs were just disgraceful. I'm sorry, I don't want to be too negative, but it sort of really does show where we are and show what. I'm not going to say, he should get sacked or nothing, but, if he just went for it a bit more, who knows, what could have happened if he went attacking all out at the end. Who knows?
Yeah, definitely. And Fran has made a very good point, and this is exactly what I was doing a watch along on another person's channel, and I said the exact same thing. USA really won that midfield. I feel like what the problem is especially when we played in the Euros, we were so comfortable with the Declan Rice, Calvin Phillips pivot, and they worked so well together. I'm not discrediting Jude Bellingham as a player whatsoever, but I just don't think Gareth is using him right, because I would use Bellingham as a 10, but then it's where's Mason Mount going to go, because Mason Mount's going to play. He can play as a winger, so that means dropping Saka. Then where's Saka going to go? That is what the problem Gareth Southgate has got. But I actually, when I looked at the game, I actually thought Phillips was a massive miss, considering, and Tyler Adams was fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, they dominated in midfield, and you really, he did need to put someone on, but then he put Henderson on, and on paper, you could say, he's got that experience. He knows how to do. He can dominate midfield, but it just didn't work. And it was just, I mean, the way they put him on so late as well. At that point, you're thinking, forget that. Just go out and put all the attackers on. You know what I mean? It's like he just wasn't reading the game, wasn't seeing what was happening. I don't know. I mean, like you say, I'm not one to say this and that, but it just. They wanted to win it. We didn't. And to be honest, I was watching it thinking, why haven't these scored? You know what I mean? Because they were all over us, winning all these battles. I really, if USA fans will be thinking, we should have won that game. Why didn't we win it? If you're looking at it, not as a critical fan, but if you're looking at it thinking, you got to get out of this group, we want to go far, they'll be thinking, yes, we have to go to Iraq, beat Iran, but, they have to win. And to be honest, watching that game, if I was an American fan, I would be disappointed that they didn't come away with the win. Because England had nothing, and they had pretty much everything,
Agreed. I was seeing some American fans on social media was very happy with the draw, saying, you know what, I didn't think it was going to come out with anything. I thought it was going to get battered, so a draw, and then if we get a win against Iran, that could secure us knockout stages. And I feel like that game gave me England versus Scotland vibes from the Euros all over again.
Yeah. I mean, we know that, America, but we know that Wales are going to come out as well. And I feel like, people got, I mean, it was a good performance against Iran, and I don't want to take anything away from it. I mean, Saka was amazing, Bellingham was amazing then, but at the same time, it's Iran, and we know, I'm not saying that they weren't up for it, but everything that's going on in their country, the way they didn't sing the anthem, I just felt like a lot of pressure was on their shoulders. I mean, they looked really good early this morning, but, it is what it is. We know that Wales are going to come out at us. We know it. Like, we know they're going to be up for it. And I just feel like England, it's sort of like Iran. They just turned up and expected, and it's like they turned up and expected it today, but they were against a team who wasn't just going to, just let them win kind of thing. And I just feel like they need to be, on it more and be up for it. And I just feel like that intensity isn't there from these lads, unless like they get 1-0 and then you do see it. You do see really good players, but it just wasn't there. It just wasn't the one. And I don't know what the answer is, but they need to sort it out, because I'm not saying Wales are going to win 4-0 or anything, but then if you finish second or anything in the group and then making it harder, for what? Just go out there and put in a good performance next game, because it's going to be harder next game. It's not just because Wales have lost doesn't mean that they're going to be easy for us to beat. And I feel like that's what maybe some people have thought. Oh yeah, England easy 9 points. No, nothing's ever easy. You know what I mean?
Definitely for England's point of view anyway. There's always something, and this is the thing is I wanted to beat the USA because I knew what Wales is going to be like, because we always know when it's England versus Wales will always turn up because it's your rivals. You want to beat your rivals, and this is the thing. What worries me now coming into this Wales game is even though they have already virtually knocked themselves out of the World Cup, they've still got to want to beat England because it's their rivals.
Yeah, exactly. And I just feel like, people are saying it was so poor, and what are the centre backs, why they're not moving it quicker? And I just feel like, lack creativity, all those things.
Yeah.
Foden, where was he? Where was Foden? It just didn't
exactly
make
what
sense.
Alex has said here as well. And another option he said was Trent for Trippier. That would have been an interesting one, to be honest, because I'm not too sure what I would have put Trippier on, because I would have took Sterling off and Mount. I would have put Calvin Phillips on for. I would have put Sterling on for Rashford. I would have put Calvin Phillips on for Mount, and I actually probably would have changed John Stones, because I think John Stones was very bullied at times.
Yeah. I just, Stones, he's been playing at City at a right back, then he's coming in at centre back. I thought Harry Maguire actually did really play well, but again, another one who's not really playing for club. Trent has had a bad time. He's not been the Trent that everyone knows, but to not even be like option or considered, it is a bit strange. But the decisions that he's making have been strange for a while. I think, for me, Harry Kane is just was anonymous today a bit, and I don't know if it's worth him coming off. I don't know. Trying something different, trying a bit more free flowing football. I'm not saying that Kane can't get a goal, but I just feel like I'd rather maybe if it's not working, him being that target man, maybe play it a bit freer and then bring him on. Because they just don't know what they're doing, in my opinion, and it's just it's concerning if you want to go far in the World Cup watching that. And Shiver saying no plan B. 100% agree. I just think this is the way we're going to play, and then that's it. I mean, you could tell that USA are not the same as Iran, but he just went the same way, and I just felt like, I would have started Foden, maybe started Grealish, start these quick creative players, and then bring on. I don't know. I'm not just I'm not a manager, but like you say, the plan is just Harry Kane and this and that, and there's nothing else really. I don't know.
I think it's good to, of course, have them impactful subs, but if you're gonna put your impactful subs on, what's the point in putting them on the 80th minute? Right, Rashford got put on far too late, in my opinion. I think Grealish is a very quick player. He can win us fouls, but I think that even him, he could have come on a tiny bit more earlier, in my opinion, as well. I do also agree with, in terms of no plan B. With Harry Kane, I kind of felt sorry for him in a way, because we seem to be good defensively, and then midfield isn't so bad, but then the forward three is the most concerning part for me. You've got Sterling; he hasn't been so good for club. I think part of it isn't to his fault, and a part of it he could do better, because let's be honest, Chelsea isn't really an attacking team unlike Manchester City, so he's got to adapt to two different managers' tactics in a short space of time. He's got to adapt to players who are quite defensively minded, so he's going to have to feed himself and then score, and I think that's a very difficult task for Raheem Sterling to do. It's a bit like what Russo done for us at Manchester United last season. She fed herself and she scored. I think it's a very hard task for a forward player to do, really, and I think Saka has been absolutely phenomenal for Arsenal. He 100% deserves to start. He's great for England, but Harry Kane, I feel like in terms of Harry Kane, he isn't getting the service. Because we know if Harry Kane got the service, he would score. But with the two wingers there's Sterling. He isn't one for crossing. He's one for cutting in and shooting. And I think Saka's the exact same. He's one for cutting in and shooting. And that leads to yourself, well, what's going to happen to Harry Kane? Where's he going to get his service from? Where's he going to get his goals from if the wingers aren't providing anything?
Yeah, that's why I'm saying, I'm not saying, oh, Kane, this and that. Something, I don't think it's just not playing to his strengths. We know what Kane, balling, that proper target man, and these wingers aren't really like that. They're not really going to put it on a plate for him kind of players. Whereas at Spurs, that's what it's all about. It's all about going through him. Whereas at England, like you say, they're going to cut inside. They're going to do this. It's about, Saka, if anything, is sort of like a main man at Arsenal. He'll get the goals and do this and that. But it's just, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I don't know what they could do. Like you say, it's as if these guys did so well at the Euros, which of course, yeah, they did. But there's no adaptation to where we're at now. It's not the Euros. You can't just sort of rely on the same team for, I know it was only a couple of years. Well, yeah, it was only a couple of years, but
it's a year ago to think of it. It is changed massively.
Things change in football quick. You know what I mean? Quick. So, sort of like Cristiano's interview, he was banging goals this year, not doing as much. It changes like that with the blink of an eye, and I just feel like if you can't keep up, then you'll be in a situation like this. And unfortunately, they're not changed. You need to change. Change to win.
Mm-hmm. To talk about, I've always thought about Southgate's tactics, and everyone's always said Southgate is a back five merchant. He just wants to play defensive football. He'd play 11 defenders if he could. But I look at it, and the 4-2-3-1, it's worked in the Euros. It worked against Iran, but not so much against USA. Do you think the back four is the more beneficial one, or would you go with the back three?
It's hard because I feel it could be potentially more attacking if you stuck two up top and stuff. And I don't know if you go for I don't know if they could do it like a 4-3-3. I'd rather see something like that. I know they are sort of doing it like that, but I just think when you say about he was defensively and all this and he'd play 11 defenders, I don't feel that's a bit harsh. But, obviously he was a defender. He was a good centre-back. And that's what he is building his team on. And I think you even said it before, didn't you? The defence is not something that I'm worried about, really. It's more, the attack. And I'm not saying a centre-back can't be a good manager, of course. There's loads. But, it's as if he needs someone to just come in there and tell him, listen, just let it go a bit. Just be a bit more free and a bit more attacking. Come on, because, like you say, against Iran, okay, but then when you're against a team who will come at you, who will press, and you need to break quickly and break the lines and stuff like that, then who's there doing that? Who's your creative element in that England setup? And I don't know, because defenses will get you, all the way to the final. That's what sort of happened with the Euros. But if you can't beat teams like America, which I think they were really good, but they're not going to be in the final, are they? You know what I mean? So it's a bit concerned, like you say. People are saying in Wales, what's going to happen. They're going to be up for it. I think we will beat them, but I just think we're making it hard for ourselves now, and it didn't need to be like that, really.
Branilicious has said England were acting like they couldn't deal with USA's physicality, but it's something that England players should be used to playing in the Premier League, because I think the Premier League is probably one of the most physical leagues in Europe, really. So I definitely do see his point.
Yeah, no, I don't understand. I don't know. Maybe it's because some of them don't play as much. I don't know. Or playing in different positions, they play differently for club. I don't know what it is, but we know though with a lot of games that are coming, it can sort of, it's not good for the players. No one, player welfare. We're seeing in the women's game a lot of injuries, ACLs, even like World Cup. We're seeing a lot of injuries. So it is that kind of. It's not that I'm not used to it. It could just be an overload, which we know isn't good for the players. But
And it makes me wonder as well. Do you know, when I noticed in the game in particular, we wasn't really pressing on the USA to try and win the ball back. We was just letting them run free. And with you mentioning about a lot of the injuries, it makes me wonder if the players are worried, thinking, "Oh, if I pick up this injury now, I'm not going to make it till the rest of the World Cup. I'm not going to be fit for club." Because the Premier League now is going to be so intense because it's back on Boxing Day. As soon as the World Cup has ended, the Carabao Cup is on.
Yeah, I mean, we've said this. It's just something had to give, and it's not given. We had to. If we were to, really, we shouldn't be having boxing. I know people love it and stuff, but you know what I'm saying. It's just too much, and either we have this Qatar World Cup or we cut a bit of games. But it's like you say, Carabao Cup straight on. This is straight on. Everyone's back to everything, and I think. Obviously, the World Cup, we love it, but it's weird because it's not like World Cup is when you switch off from club and it's ended and everything's finished. But they're still thinking, shit, I want to go and win the Premier League, or I want to go and do this, or I want to go and do that. So I'm not saying that that's on the men, because obviously, they're professionals, but this World Cup being when it is, it could be having an impact, Saka and that, they're top of the league, you know what I mean? And they're having to stop. It just doesn't. It doesn't make sense for me, this World Cup and everything that's going on around it. Don't make sense, but professionals, you gotta be doing what you gotta do.
I definitely do agree for you. Agree that the World Cup has come at such a wrong time, because if you're looking at it from Saka's point of view, he probably didn't want club football to finish, because he's like, I'm top of the league here. We've only lost 3 games all season. We're in such great form. What's going to happen when we come back? And then you've got Man United. They was getting in better form. You've got Man City and Newcastle. They're other teams who's getting into great form as well. So I could definitely see why players will think what they think in terms of club. And the World Cup is definitely a weird time of year, but going off England a little bit, it's been a very interesting World Cup, taking everything out of consideration.
Yeah. Been a lot of upsets, even Iran, even though, you could say that was an upset this morning, but, Saudi Arabia beating Argentina, even just before at the 4 o'clock game, that was a bit of an upset, maybe not an upset, but, Holland, they're a big team. You probably expect them to win. A lot of Asian teams are doing really well. whether it's the heat or anything. But Japan beating Germany,
That was a great one.
big one, and you wouldn't have expected this maybe. And I don't know if it's like to do like we just said about the teams in Europe, and I'm not saying that the European team ain't going to win because France looked really good, but even Australia getting that one goal early, it's probably taken a bit of a top, and probably they're going to have to get used to it because, like you say, probably a lot of them, even though they have done it, you're probably thinking, oh, when I go back, when I go, so it is tough for the players, and I do feel a bit for them, having to do it then, and everything that's going on with the armbands and all this and FIFA, and then people are criticizing them because they're not doing enough or they're not doing too much. It's mad. But it has been good, and I have really enjoyed it. And like you say, World Cup upsets, it's what it's all about. But I feel like a favourite will come through and win it in the end.
Mm-hmm. You're very welcome as well, Sophie. We're glad to be back onto the channel. I agree with the World Cup. It has definitely had a lot more upsets than I was expecting. One for me, I was thinking Saudi Arabia beating Argentina, the first ever World Cup win. I thought that was absolutely incredible. You mentioned about Iran today. Uruguay was a big one. You wouldn't have expected Uruguay to pick up a draw, and taking everything out of consideration as I actually think this, and being in the winter and it's disrupting everything, I actually think in terms of results in itself and the upsets, this has been one of my favourite World Cups to think about. Oh, I can't hear you, Nat.
Yeah, definitely it has. I never would have expected. It's been like end to end, even like the sort of, watch Qatar versus Ecuador, and even though they're the first team to go out and they're the host, that was the very first game. It was exciting. It was end to end, and like I said, even looking back at that Japan Germany, that's probably one of my favorite ones because they scored and then it was ruled out, but then Germany, and then you thought, right, that's it now. Germany has sort of tied this up, and it just didn't go that way. And I feel like these teams, Saudi Arabia, as you say, we didn't really expect them to do what they did. Like I said, like Germany, the way Argentina, they scored first, and there's a couple of, they can say this and that, but it's just, like you say, it's one of my favourites in terms of the way the results are going. And yeah, I agree with Andrew, good tight matches. Yeah, it's been unexpected, but that's what you want. That's what you love to see in a World Cup, and just shows that pretty much everyone beating everyone, nothing's sort of confirmed.
Mm-hmm. And what have you made of this injury time? Like, everybody has gone so mad about this injury time, and I think I added both the first half injury time for England against Japan and the second half. It totaled 21 minutes. If we had literally 9 more minutes, that would have gone to penalties if that was knockout football. I think it's absolutely crazy on how everything is all getting worked out. Even the VAR is so intense, but I really like this VAR in a kind of way because you can actually see the body. You can see it in a lot more detail, but this injury time, that doesn't do no favors either.
No, I'm not. As a fan, you're watching it and you're thinking, yeah, because if anything, yeah, it is needed, and this is how much time that you're wasting. But then, like you say, it goes to 90 minutes and it's going into 120 minutes. You're thinking, what's this? It just, I understand why they're doing it, but it's just, I'd rather them just stop it on the clock rather than adding it on at the end. I don't know. I'd rather just the clock stop in the stadium and outside, and and then everyone knows where they're at, rather than this reams and reams of added time. I mean, I think this USA game that we just watched is the shortest one we had. I think it was like 4 minutes, and I was like thinking,
4 minutes injury time.
What? Is this normal now? Are they having us off, or are they? I don't understand. Like, maybe now we'll start seeing them go down a bit because they'll realise we can't be wasting time. And like you say, if it's had to come to this, for players to realise, you can't be wasting it, can't be sort of walking off the pitch. And taking your sweet time. But I would like it just for fans to be a bit more like stopping the clock and it all stops rather than people going, what minute are we in? Oh, 120. Well, what minute are we playing to? You know what I mean? Because you know what it's like when you're watching it in the ground and you're like, what minute are we on? Is it 90 minutes?
Yes.
That's football. You want the 90 minutes to come and the ref to blow the whistle. When it starts getting ridiculous, you just don't know what you're watching anymore.
And as well, when you've got like 90 plus 5 minutes, you get to feel that little bit of excitement. And you feel like when they score as well, 90 plus 4 minutes, you think, yes, we scored in 30 time. This is amazing. But when you've got there like 15 minutes added on, you think, I'm not really fussed.
Yeah. It just sort of takes it away from what it's supposed to be. So I don't understand that. But like you say, players need to take responsibility for it going on this well because
Agreed.
They waste too much time.
Agreed. And as you've said, if that is going to teach them not to waste time, then that would be probably the best way forward, because that's just going to lack them that match fitness onto that following game then. Going on to Wales now, Ravi has asked on what changes would Southgate make for the Wales game, and to look at that, and I'll look at other tournaments we played in, he hasn't really made any changes to a starting 11. I think the only thing I can think of the Euros off the top of my head, he only changed Saka. And now I think he played Foden the first couple of games, and then it was Saka continuously. So if he was going to change anyone, I'd probably say he'd change Bellingham, or it change Mount, because I can't think of them players who he started who he would actually want to take off permanently.
Yeah, I don't know whether he would. Maybe Sterling. I don't know.
I think he's one of the favourites, Sterling, and I think he knows that Sterling can really turn up if he wants to turn up.
Well, or would it be Mount maybe for Foden or something like that? I wouldn't mind seeing that, because for me, I don't know why he didn't, like we said, and like other people said, why didn't Foden play at all? So maybe he will bring off Mount, but I think Mount was all right in the. So I'm sort of a bit like you. I don't think he does. Maybe Foden does start. That's the only one thing I could see, maybe. But yeah, like what you said, he's not one for big changes, is he? And I think even in international football, he's not even made big changes from the Euros. So I don't really expect to see a lot of changes happening.
No, I wouldn't be surprised if we come out with the exact same squad and the exact same formation. But yeah, poor game against USA. Hopefully, it's a much better game for Wales. Where do you feel like we're gonna finish off in terms of Wales? Do you think we could get a win out of this game, or do you think, how are you feeling now getting into knockout? Your chances of knockouts?
Yeah, I think we will. I can see them winning. I know Andrew's sort of having a go saying, "Oh, we'll do this, then we'll beat Ecuador," but I think we'll beat Wales.
Fantastic.
Yeah, but I think we'll beat Wales. Ecuador will be another kettle of fish, and they'll be up for it again and all over us. I just think they have to go for it. They have to, when you get into that knockout, you just have to go for it, don't you? Fair enough tonight. It's a draw, but beat Wales and then just start going for it. Start putting your foot on the gas and smashing teams, kind of.
Mark has unfortunately gone for a 0-0 draw in the game. I hope it doesn't be that 0-0, because then we're going to have to really worry about the Iran versus USA game of who's going to win that one. And if Iran wins it, we might be okay, but if US wins it, I don't know what we'll end up. I think we'll qualify regardless, wouldn't we? Yeah.
I think unless Wales beat us 4-0, they said we qualify, so I can't say that, unfortunately, for Wales.
I can't see that from Wales either.
It's I suppose whether we finish first or second, but it's one of them, isn't it? Like with that, because I think Ecuador will probably, I think Holland will finish top, but I think Ecuador will probably be second. And Ecuador's shown you can get at Holland, but they've shown that they're really good too. So, and dangerous, Gakpo, dangerous. So we're gonna have to be on it if we do finish second and get a Norway or some. I mean, not Norway, Netherlands.
Definitely, and I think we need to stop this group more than anything because I was looking at it, and I think like if we won, we got like I think everyone predicted Senegal to win, so we to finish seconds. I was one of them who thought it, so we thought, oh, it's going to be Senegal, and then it's going to be this team, and then we get France in the semis. So, but I would be actually nervous for playing against Valencia in Ecuador because he's been absolutely fantastic. He is a real target man for Ecuador.
Yeah, he's been one of the best players, even when I know they play Qatar, but he was all over the park. He scored today. I actually didn't catch the end of that one because I was heading home to get back for England. But, I just walked back in and it said that he scored, and I thought, yeah, because he's been the real quality player for them, captain stepping up. So for me, yeah, I'll be worried to play. I think they're really good. I was like you, I was like more Senegal, but I think when Mane got injured, that's when I thought, and I know they were okay versus Qatar, and Qatar get a goal. But yeah, I think Ecuador will finish second and Holland will finish fourth, to be honest. But I mean, I could be wrong, and Senegal could come out and beat them 5-0 and qualify. But that's the World Cup, innit, Maisie? That's the way it's been.
Exactly. It's just the beauty of it, and tournament football, so unpredictable. But we'll leave it here now. Thank you, Natalie, for coming on. It's been great to catch up with you. It's been a while.
Yeah, no worries, and hopefully see you soon. And thanks, guys, for watching. I really appreciate it. Hit a like on.
Yeah, thank you everyone who has watched. Natalie, would you like to shout out your socials as well?
Yeah, it's Natalie_17 on Twitter. Nutty Natty B on Instagram. So yeah, come and check me out and check out the things that I do.
Great. Thanks very much, Natalie. And thank you, Sophie, as well, for letting us both talk football, stuff that we like best too. So, everyone, if you are new, go and smash the like button and the subscribe button to Ladies in Red. And drop a comment. Soph will always see the comments at the end of the show anyway. So, drop a comment there to Soph. My YouTube channel as well is Devils United. So, you can check me out on there. Everybody, have a lovely weekend. Enjoy the football. Is it coming home? Who knows? But we can only support England. Thank you all very, very much. Take care. Bye bye.